Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming down. We're back with another meetup for November. Having started the series last month, or restarted. We got an agenda here. We are obviously not keeping to the time as usual, but we'll just do a quick intro. Myself and Eniko, we're both from the EF, and then we have Riley over here, who's going to give a great talk about Ethereum adoption in Latin America. So it serves a little bit as a little warm-up for some of those that are going to Buenos Aires for Dev Connect, happening in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks from now. I just wanted to quickly again mention why Berlin meetups are special and why we're here and why it's awesome that you guys are coming here. We've had Ethereum Berlin meetups for more than 11 years now, which is pretty crazy. And I just looked back in some old meetups. I found this one from 2018, an Ethereum Berlin meetup at Seabase. And here we have Igor Barinov, who's presenting. He's talking about XDAI chain. And XDAI chain later became Gnosis chain, which is kind of funny because we're here at Full Node, a bit of a home of Gnosis. And funnily enough, Igor has also recently joined the EF to oversee privacy efforts. So it was a nice throwback, I thought. We have Dev Connect coming up real soon. I believe that's the 11th. No, I mean, I guess we've had 7 DevCons and this is the 3rd Dev Connect, if I remember correctly. Or maybe 8 DevCons. Anyway, DevCon started here in Berlin. We had the very first one in 2014, DevCon 0, which was kind of like a closed event. It was kind of like an invite-only small event, and now it's going really big. And I think last year we had 10,000 people in Bangkok, and I think we're expecting the same or maybe even more in Buenos Aires. It's going to be really crazy, and Eniko is going to talk a bit about that later. I talked about this last time as well, but like Berlin blockchain has really grown crazy big, and we've had some really big events over the years. Some of them I've been part of, so I'm just going to shill some of those, Protocol Bag and ETH Berlin and so on. But we also, of course, have DAppCon organized by the guys here from Gnosis. And we have some soft dates already for Berlin Blockchain 2026. It's not something I'm announcing. I'm just saying, like, mark your calendars, because we already have DAppCon announced for June 16th and 17th. So it's around the same time as it was this year, and I'm very excited. Hope to see many of you there. We want to bring the Berlin community a bit closer together and do more stuff together. We think there's so many people that are in crypto, that are in Ethereum here in Berlin, but it sometimes feels a bit fragmented. We only see each other every once in a while. So one part of it is getting this meetup series back and checking in more often and seeing each other. But aside from that, we also started a new initiative at the EF where we do co-working Wednesdays. So this is every Wednesday where we have a section of the EF office here in Berlin where we invite people to come and co-work with us. So you can co-work there from 10 to 6, and then from 6 to 8, we have some social hours, we have some beers, some pizza, and just hang out, get to know each other. You can apply here, scan the QR code, and then if we like your application, we'll send you a confirmation, and then you're more than welcome to show up. I think that's pretty much it from my side here. Some nice photos. Back when Berlin looked a little bit nicer than it does right now. Like good, kind of like late summer vibes. We did a barbecue for the first one. And here's a nice time for lunch here at Amrit. So yeah, very much encourage you to apply, come and co-work with us. And yeah, make sure you attend all the different meetups and just be a good part of the community. If you have ideas of things we can do to bring the community closer together, we are all ears. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it from me. Now I'm gonna hand it over to Eniko.
All right. Thank you, Martin. And yeah, thanks for being here. There's a lot going on in Berlin as always, so we appreciate you showing up. And as Martin said, this is more about like continuity, regularity. We kind of want to make sure that we bring these community activities and vibes back to Berlin. And we also initiate a little more as part of the Ethereum Foundation. So just want to be a little bit more approachable and more active in the local scene and have more community gatherings, regular events. And also if you're organizing something or involved with anything, then let us know. I'm also part of a team who is supporting events, so feel free to approach me after the talk if you're planning to do something here in Berlin. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the new grants program at the Ethereum Foundation ecosystem support program. I talked a little bit about the restructuring of the ecosystem support and ecosystem development teams at the foundation. I mentioned that now there are more focused teams, focused on founders, focused on developers, academia, events. So the grants program, if some of you know, I don't know if any of you have any experience or applied for any grants from the Ethereum Foundation in the past, but it was a very generic grants program. Anybody can basically apply for any kind of grants, research grants, event grants. So it was a little bit of a more broader generic thing. And now this has been a little bit restructured. And this new program allows Ethereum Foundation teams to list wishlist items and RFPs. So the wishlist items are a little bit more generic. These are like high-level goals. So this is a little bit similar to what has been like what the open grants application was in the past, but they are still a little bit more concrete for certain areas. This could be technical. So the difference is that each team at the foundation can write like a more specific like wishlist item that they would like to see grant applications submitted for. And then the next one is the request for proposals. These are a bit more concrete things. So if you have, like if some of the teams have like a very like concrete, like they need researchers to work on a specific solution or issue, or it's also time sensitive, they're like they submitting these requests for proposals, and the ESP team puts that on the website, and then people can apply for these. So I encourage you to check it out. There are already some RFPs and wishlist items listed on the ESP website. You can just scan the QR if you want, and there will be way more in the future. So don't worry, there are not that many listed for now, but they will be more in the future. And yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about DevConnect. Just raise your hand if you're going to be at DevConnect from here. Okay, quite a few of you. Perfect. So I also don't want to make you sad if you're not going, so I just kind of want to give you a little bit of a context of what this is and why we are all excited about it. So DevConnect and DevCon are the only two events that are organized by the Ethereum Foundation. Every other event around the world, which there are so many Ethereum events now, are organized by local grassroots communities, which is, I think, is very impressive. Of course, the Ethereum Foundation supports some of them, financially, non-financial ways, but yeah, they are all organized by the locals. So DevConnect is the only conference in the year, and DevCon that is organized by the foundation, and they are usually one of the biggest gatherings and ecosystem events that are happening. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about the difference. So DevCon was originally, like Martin said, like the developer conference, right? Like the first, like from the start, very small gatherings of more like core developers or people who were working on Ethereum. And then it grew into this like way bigger like conference for the whole ecosystem with a lot of attendees. And then, of course, there was a little bit of a break because of COVID. And because there was nothing really happening during COVID, the foundation was like, let's do something before DevCon, because DevCon is usually happening in fall. So they decided to organize DevConnect in Amsterdam in 2022. And the idea behind it is that it has like more focused events around specific topics. So it can be more deeper, only one topic is covered usually at these events, and they have these deep dive sessions, workshops, roundtables, and they try to have attendees who are really like particularly interested in that specific topic. And this is also a good way to empower the ecosystem to organize events. So literally none of the content or the talks are organized by the foundation at DevConnect. And in Amsterdam, how many of you were in Amsterdam at DevConnect? Okay, cool. So I really like that it was very decentralized in terms of locations too. So you could get to see the city. I biked everywhere, I remember, the locations were all spread out in the city. So there was this main co-working space that's here in the corner, but that was literally just for the community, co-working, music, but all the events and the content and the presentations were at different locations in the city. So that was a really, really cool concept. I really liked it. And in that year, there was also DevCon in fall in Bogota, I think. And then there was DevConnect again in Istanbul the next year. That's the picture down here. Same concept, big co-working space, but all the other events were scattered around the city. And the ecosystem and the communities were organizing those events, not the foundation. So the concept right now is that they are happening in alternating years. So one year there is DevCon, the next year is DevConnect. So this is a good balance between ecosystem organized events and the big conference, which is DevCon, where the content is curated by the Ethereum Foundation. Of course, showcasing and having a lot of speakers from the ecosystem as well, but again, more curated by the EF. So the next one is coming up in Buenos Aires, in Argentina. As I mentioned again, it's the point of DevConnect is empowering the ecosystem to organize, own, and lead the content of these events. And then the next one. So what's new at this DevConnect? Obviously, a lot of people are already there because it's happening soon in this month. But there are so many side events always. There are pop-up cities, there are hackathons, there are builder villages, and so many other events organized around DevConnect and also DevCon, but especially DevConnect this time. Not just in Argentina, actually, but in other Latin countries. Hackathons, conferences, builder cities, so a lot of things going on. So this time, most of the things are going to be at La Rural, from what I heard. So it's a little bit different from, for example, from Amsterdam. So it's going to be more focused on this big venue because it's also this new concept that it's going to be like a world fair. So it's going to be a very big, cool venue with a lot of showcases of real-world use cases, discussion corners, community hubs, co-working, of course, as always, meeting rooms, a lot of food trucks, everything will be here, and also some of the events. So there will be stages and event rooms where some of the events will be hosted. So it's a little bit going to be more centered at La Rural, but of course there are so many other side events will be also organized at other locations. A lot of the food trucks and the vendors at the venue will accept crypto, which is really great. There's going to be a lot of things organized by the community, by the ecosystem, like Startup World Cup, Founders Lab. I think Riley can maybe mention that. I think you have a little bit of involvement with this one. And it's also going to showcase the very strong adoption of Ethereum and crypto in LATAM. And again, Riley will have a really, really good presentation on this after me, so I don't want to waste too much time. If you're interested, that's the calendar of the events on the left. And the DevConnect team also published an article recently about everything you need to know about DevConnect. So if you're going, then you can scan this QR. And if you're not going, then again, I just wanted to highlight that we have a community here, so don't be sad. Maybe next time you can join, but we really want to encourage you to meet us, to come to the meetups, to join us for the co-working session. So we'll have a more active community here in the future as well. So plenty of time to network and connect and meet new people as well. And make sure you talk to someone tonight who you haven't met before to exchange some thoughts and have some good conversations. We also have a POAP. So if you're a collector, then you can scan this QR code and mint your POAP for this meetup. yeah, I don't think that's it from my part. So I can just pass it on to Riley. In the meantime, while you're collecting your pop, does anyone still need the cure? No. Okay, thank you.